The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, outspoken Haitian pastor Killarney St. Louis says the government's demolition notice in North Andros has left some 20 people homeless. He's here tonight to appeal for more time. Also tonight, the political scene heating up in Fox Hill and in Killarney, where incumbent Dr. Hubert Minnis and FNM candidate Michael Barnett are campaigning. That and a whole lot more is coming up tonight. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, with the clock ticking for Shantytown residents to leave their unregulated homes or face demolition, a community leader is appealing for more time from the government tonight. Of course, we are speaking about the Shantytown in North Andros. Well, Pastor Killarney St. Louis, who has been outspoken on any number of issues as it relates to the Haitian community here in the Bahamas, joins me this evening. Good evening to you, Pastor St. Louis. It's good to have you here. Thank you very much for being here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. May the Lord bless everybody who listens to me tonight.
Yes.
Has come to the station. But I hope so, Shanique, I come for the good thing tonight to talk to the Bahamian community. Because according what happened in South Andros and Nassau, Bahamas, so it is very impossible for the people where they say they could demolition people house on North Andros.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about this. This is an Andros as we're talking about. That a relatively new shantytown, unregulated community. You say as a result of the notices that went out, the Ministry of Works, as you all know, has been working now for at least a year in carrying out demolition exercises in various unregulated communities. It's now, of course, turned its attention to the one that popped up some time ago in Andros. And you were saying as a result of the notice that went out.
No, because this is surprise for the people of Andros. Because when I talk to them, they say, no, they don't know. They just say this week they could come back and then to destroy all them shantytown on South Andros. According with I see Shanique Miller, please, and let me explain that to you because people unjust is not ready for that. Because Bakari, Joe Fightenwood, Carpenwood, and destroyed the people this home before. Until now, the people is still in the bad condition. It's still in bad condition. They don't have no house to be live.
Right.
People with kit in the hand. The kid, what I mean the people who had 2, 3 children, they don't have no place to live with them.
You're saying from the communities that were the illegal communities that were demolished in Bacardi Road and other areas,
yes,
that those people are still scrambling for somewhere to live?
People still suffer.
Okay, so let's talk about, Pastor, let's talk about it. And I know you were here to make an appeal, and I will let you make that appeal. Let's talk about, though, you said they are homeless because of the notice that was given. I think it's about a 30-day notice or around there about that was given. So what you're saying, they can't find anywhere else to live?
No.
Okay, Pastor,
no.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this very reasonably, yes? Pastor, do you understand the Bahamian mindset and the Bahamian thought and the feelings of Bahamian that say, listen, if these people, now we understand some are undocumented, meaning they're here illegally.
Exactly.
And others are with work permits and various forms of status for the Bahamas, yes?
Yes.
If they have status, let's just deal with the legal ones for a moment. if they have status, work permit, residency, any of those, anywhere on that level, why can't they go and rent an apartment instead of going and establishing and basically squatting and developing an unregulated, unlawful community that Bahamians feel as though, listen, they can't do. And here it is. We must go and sit back and continue to allow the Haitians to do.
Wait, Shanty, but Bahamas, they don't have enough house for people to rent. Right now, we a lot of people looking for the house to be rent. That's why I gave my number to enter to everywhere, to the newspaper. I said, anybody who have an apartment for rent or house for rent, call me. Some people need house for rent. But we can't find. I go all over, especially Bahamas, we can't find that. About Southern Georgia, they don't have no apartment, nothing to be rent.
You're absolutely right. Finding apartments, because now, as you know, the trend, no, it's extremely difficult. Finding apartments is difficult even for Bahamians. And when you find it, an apartment as big as this desk is probably $1,200. But more than not, what's happening now, landlords are turning their apartments into Airbnbs. Bahamians too are faced with that issue.
Exactly.
But Bahamians are not going and squatting illegally elsewhere. This is what the issue is. So what do you think, Pastor, should happen? You said these people are homeless because if they have status, and I'm sure they're working, why can't they go on Andros and either maybe try and get a piece of land or the people who sponsored them assist them in building some sort of structure or renting someplace in Andros?
So the people who build the house on Southern, the Bahamian given authority to build that. They're Bahamian property. So they pay the property, when they build any shack or any house they build, they pay the Bahamian. Okay?
They're paying a Bahamian. They bought the land or paying rent to a Bahamian.
To Bahamian. So they get $50, $60, $70 every week.
A week.
A week. So this shut it down. This is not Haitian problem. That's Bahamian problem. If you
Bahamian have developed and caused these shanty towns to come about.
Exactly. If you know the government, they don't want no shanty town. Why, when Haitian came, he told you, okay, let me build a house, and then you say, yes, build that, and then I would no permit nothing. That's Bahamian problem. That is not Haitian problem. So Haitian cannot go on people property to build in a house. So before they do anything, they get a permission from the Bahamian.
Who own the land.
Who own the land.
Now, the thing is, and you know, Pastor, you speak right, because these are the most double-twisted tongue people anywhere in any part of the world, right here in the Bahamas. Because you're right, they collect rent, they charge rent either for the land or for the shack that's on the land for people to live in. This is what they do. And you are saying that Bahamians are largely responsible for the shanty towns we have seen develop over the many years anywhere in the Bahamas. And right now we're talking about Andros. They're also responsible for the shanty town that's developed in Andros.
Yes, Bahamian responsible because, and I talked to a lot of people. The people told me, Bishop, I pay $60 every week. That one tell me he pay $50 every week. That one tell me he pay $35 every week. Okay? To the Bahamian people. So the Bahamian on the land, he rent that to Haitian people. That's what I try to say. Why the government, they don't call the person who give the Haitian built and shanty down?
Legitimate question. Government, why is it that this investigation isn't deeper? Why isn't it more thorough? Because as Pastor and Bishop Silinaire St. Louis is saying that, listen, the Haitians just can't go squat. So you're saying Haitians just don't go set up shop?
No.
They get permission from whomever it is.
Exactly.
And so, as you were hearing, it is us. We talk about from identity theft and using Bahamian names. Many Bahamians are responsible, and behind that is a big business.
And plus, before they destroy, why they don't come to ask who contribute? People who have work permit, people who have work permit, people who have residence, people who have Bahamian passport. Not only Haitian live and shut down, Bahamian who have passport, who put the government on power, live, same shanty town.
See what the issue is,
okay.
Pastor. I hear you very much, Pastor. I hear you, Pastor St. Louis. The issue, though, is, I've seen the articles, I've read it, we even know what takes place here in New Providence or anywhere there are shanty towns. Particularly, though, the one in Andros, there is no proper sewer system,
none.
No lighting, no restrooms,
nothing.
That kind of thing.
I've been Andros last month. I check over there only 80-something house. They got some nice house. But
roughly how many houses in the Shanty town?
Okay, on Shanty town they have, I come 110 nice house who get water, light, they get solar, and they get light, they get pump, they get water on that. The one they put on the Facebook, that's a little shack they put generator. They put the good house in on the Facebook to show the Bahamas, the people build a house. Only one thing I asked him, why before you build the nice house, why don't let the person who let you build the house go to the Ministry of Way, get the permit and the plant before you build the house.
I see what you're saying. So the Haitians are being fleeced, and they're being fleeced by Bahamians. And it's a trickery all around. And so when they are run out for demolition, because the whole thing is illegal, then the Haitian come up with a loss.
The main illegal people is the Bahamian who give them to do the house. That one, if before you know the government,
the criminals are the Bahamian.
Yes, the criminal is the Bahamian. But the government, they don't see that. The Minister of Food, they don't see that.
No, the government know the trickery.
Yeah, they don't see that. They don't care. Even the Bahamian let you do anything when to pay the price. We pay the price. That's wrong.
No, it is.
That's wrong.
It is.
They give me notice for 28 days. I get bed, I get stove, I get everything, I get my kid. Where I could live with that. For 28 days. Where I could live with that. So, but they look like, I don't understand that if you, the government is not only for Bahamian, the government for us. We pay the work permit, we pay residents, we pay light bill, we pay water, so we contribute. In this country, you have to treat me as a people who contribute in this country.
Okay, why do you
treat me bad?
Okay, well, why do you... Well, you see, again, I want to come to... And I'm not blaming you anymore, because this is the first time you on this show have really expressed that, Shanique, the problem doesn't all land on the Haitians' lap. There are Bahamians who are behind this and grinning all the way to the bank. This is what you're saying. But so you make a contribution, you say, you meaning the Haitian community largely make a contribution.
Largely make contribution because...
And many of them have papers, and this is where they choose
that 1 year work permit costs $2,000. National insurance...
But they don't pay for that, do they? The person who sponsors them pay for it, yeah?
We pay for that. The Haitian pay for their own. The people who are responsible to give a builder house, they come pick up his rent every week, that's all. The work permit, they pay $2,000 for work permit. $500 for national insurance, make it $3,500 for work permit and national insurance every year. The national insurance, they cannot cover your costs. When you're sick, they can't take care of you. They say, I've been questioning immigration before, they've been questioning the MP before. They say the money for the cover, only the permit, not for you. If you're sick, they can't cover you. If you're dead, they can't cover you. They just for the work permit. Why? Why they treat us like they don't treat us good? Because we contribute in this country.
So you're saying Haitians are making a contribution?
Yes, we make a contribution.
And Haitians do pay national insurance because it's a part of the whole work permit process.
Yes.
Well, how do you feel? Because I'll tell you this: you are a man who traveled widely. In fact, you were supposed to be in Washington at this moment.
Yes.
You see what's happening in terms of many nations are now trying to reclaim their sovereignty. They want illegal immigrants, in particular, out.
Exactly.
How do you think the Bahamas should navigate that, given the fact that you say, listen, Haitians, the upstanding, lawful ones, are here trying to do the right thing, getting fleeced and tricked by Bahamians, and then, of course, now in trouble with the government, but still are not benefiting and being seen as the enemy in this nation?
Well, what I call them, is not enemy for the nation because we don't.
When I say enemy, you all it is an antagonistic type relationship in the fact that Bahamians say, man, enough for y'all, y'all are too burdensome on this economy.
But they can't say that because we put the Bahamas economy up. You know why?
Why?
Because we shopping for our kid, we pay national insurance. And I remember last year when let me go for example, when the coronavirus came, they say national insurance give everybody a check. Me and my friend and 4 people, we've been on the line from 6 o'clock in the morning. If you don't have no Johnson, you don't have no Lewis or you don't have no a nationality Bahamian, they leave us, they call, they give everybody check all day. The last one, when 4 o'clock come in, I see the lady came, he said, well, you all could come tomorrow, only one person, I get a check for them. When I look, the woman give the person, they give the guy a check for $30. Only for $30 on the coronavirus. And we pay national insurance, we contribute, everybody should be get something. They give us a check right there on national insurance, given one check for $30. That means we don't have nobody. So if the Haiti is good, if the Haiti don't have no problem, we don't mind to live Bahamas. We don't mind. The little country, we could live that for Bahamian. But Bahamian, I don't say Bahamian because I love Bahamian so much. Bahamian so good because where I live, Bahamian take care of me. I take care of them. I do the funeral for them. I don't take no money from them. I love them. We live good because when I sleep, because their government, if they tell us today, but how according what they do, because if Haiti was good, plenty of us was gone.
What do you think the Bahamas should do? Because you understand that, and we know that there are legal Haitians here, like yourself.
Yes,
and
we don't have no problem with illegal
Haitians. Right, exactly.
If the immigration catch anybody that don't have no work permit, no residence, I don't mind that. Because you're illegal.
Right.
You don't have no work permit. Mm-hmm. But the position is those people who pay the work permit, those people who get a permanent residence, those people who born there, who live, who get Bahamian passport, who live right there in Shanty town. Why they don't care for us?
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's just fatigue with something that's been happening for decades? Why do you suppose our attitudes, and when I say our, I'm just generalizing, as a nation, why do you suppose our attitudes are the way that they are against Haitians, or towards Haitians,
guess
rather?
What? They love our money, they don't love us.
Oh.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They love our money. When we pay the money, they're happy. Mm-hmm. But they don't love us. But be honest, my dream I got of my life, Haiti will be star one day. One day when we say Bahamas goodbye, not too long, not so far.
But you do understand the Bahamian position, though.
Yes,
in terms of the burdensome, the fact that, listen, it's one too many illegal Haitians who are straying on the system. Not all of them pay NIB. Not all of them are. The squatting, the illegal communities are also burdensome. Because, for example, in Andros Pastor, the water table is something that people are concerned about. That is the water that kind of feeds the rest of the nation. So people are concerned about that. But also, you make an excellent point. Bahamians, you all got to stop being. You all got to stop being Barabbas to these people. It is not a very kind thing to do.
See,
and because we want legal communities, Pastor.
They use us, and then we pay the price for nothing. So they never, the governor, the minister, they don't go to the person who give us the bill,
right,
who cost bill illegal house. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I told another day. I see one guy bill, I say, where your permit is. He say, where I can be there, my boss tell me. I said, no. Can you break that down? That can't be built no more. Because in this country, they say, no, let your boss go into the Ministry of Work, get the permit for you, put the permit on the piece of paper or piece of wood in the front, and then you could build any house. We could find light, you could find water. When you get permit, you get plan to build your house. But how would that get your hammer and get piece of plywood, blah, blah, blah? We don't want that. So it is the same thing. Bahamian don't care about that. Since he getting money, that's it.
Well, I know. I know. Again, tricky, like I said.
Yes, that's the tricky.
You are making an appeal.
Yes.
You said you want to make an appeal for an extension.
Yes, we need that.
Make that appeal. Look in the camera.
Yes. See, the problem is because the minister say 28 days.
Look right here, Pastor.
Yes, 28 days for Southern just break this house. I said to the government, 28 days is not be enough for them people. I've been there, that they don't have enough house and apartment to be rent on certain just. So we need the government taking care, that give more time, give the people more time to move around, to find some place to go before they destroy them. That's what I came to ask. I ask for the government and the minister, and then care for these people who live in this country with kids,
But how will you? But Pastor, how will you? You know, Pastor, you need to come back. When do you leave? We'll talk.
Yes.
Because you need to come back because you want an extension, but also that just as you said,
Yes.
the Bahamians are in the same position as many of those legal Haitians are in, that
Exactly.
they can't find an apartment to live in either.
No.
You see? So
Exactly.
so it's we'll Pastor, we'll talk, because I'll tell you this. That little stress and burden that the Haitian community is feeling,
Yeah.
many Bahamians are feeling the same thing because
Guess what?
because yes.
I get a lot of Bahamians. They are same problem. They get one house.
No.
I've been check 1-bedroom house on Prince Charles. You know how much the 1-bedroom?
How much?
For $850. 1-bedroom,
Yeah, that's cheap.
800. You
Yeah.
don't. They don't give you no water. They don't give you no light. Just the house, 1-bedroom for $850.
Pastor, we will
Which
continue.
job you could get to pay that?
Well, I know which one. Not in 2025.
Which
also.
job?
No,
And
not,
then especially Haitian.
not in September
And then
2025.
Fort Bush,
But
eat weed.
yeah, but Pastor, we
For $40?
don't want the illegal communities.
No.
But I also understand you, because Bahamians
understand. We don't want
are the ones
So
breaking and at the
that's-
front of the line breaking the law. Then the Haitians.
The Bahamian break the law.
Yes, sir.
Not us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You will come back very soon, sir.
Yes,
Thank
I'll
you.
come back again.
We're
God
just
bless.
getting started tonight. Really, this is a topic that really a lot of people are paying attention to. A lot of people feel every which way about it, and rightly so. But you know, we also must hear the other side. Just hear it, you know. Pastor, I invite you back again very soon. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Crack the code and win $1 million. Crack the code and win $1 million.
7 numbers, $1 million. Every 3 days, a number is revealed. Act fast, your million is waiting.
Crack that code, win $1 million clear.
Crack the code before the last lock clicks shut. Get ready to join the winner's circle only at islandluck.com.
Crack the code and win $1 million.
This year marks a milestone. The OWN Foundation is celebrating 10 years of impact, innovation, and inspiration. Join us for OWN Talks, September 12th at the Atlantis Resort, Paradise Island at 7 p.m. for a transformative experience under the theme, Activate. Taking the stage are world-renowned leaders and visionaries. Sebastian Bastien, visionary entrepreneur, philanthropist, and CEO of Island Luck and Weiss Technology Group. Barbara Corcoran, legendary real estate mogul, entrepreneur, investor, and star of Shark Tank. Vusi Tembekwayo, global business strategist, venture capitalist, and one of Africa's most influential thought leaders. Be part of this unforgettable evening as the OWN Foundation celebrates a decade of purpose and progress. And together, we activate the future.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. One 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
We are back live. Thank you very, very much. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, everyone. Of course, at the top of tonight's segment, we are dealing with the matter of, because it's been a trending topic and it's freshly trending in this political season all over again. Before we even move on, I want to invite and welcome to Beyond the Headlines BTH contributors Gabrielle McKinsey-Eneas and Peggy Candace. Thank you both very much for being here. Good evening to both of you.
Thank you so much, Shanique, for the invitation. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having us. Good evening.
Yes. And now at the top of tonight's segment, because we're going to go straight into something that's related, quite frankly. But you all heard, it's always interesting when you hear how this discussion continues to sort of evolve and the information that come, and it's not a new one. We've heard it before. We know we sell our birthright. We know we sell our identities. We know we tell the police we lost our passport and then go and file for another passport and then go sell it. We know we do all these different things. We know that Bahamians somewhere, somehow, are collecting rent for these squatters in the shanty towns. And it just continues to just be almost a vicious cycle that when one is demolished, another one pops up because Bahamians are at the root of it, just playing tricks. You all, ladies, again, welcome to the show. I want to get your thoughts, your opinions, your insight on exactly what it is that Pastor St. Louis talked about as it relates to South Andros, and then, of course, appealing in turn for an extension to this 30-day sort of notice that evacuate or vacate.
Thank you so much once again. I was so glad to be here to hear that interview live. You said we do this and we do that, but some Bahamians refuse to take responsibility for their contribution to the illegal squatting, the illegal buildings in this country. And like the bishop said, they love us, but they don't love us, but they love our money. And the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And so until Bahamians decide to be good citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, until Bahamians get rid of the spirit of greed from over the...
and lawlessness.
Yeah, and lawlessness.
Because no other nation, nowhere, do you see any shanty towns anywhere in the United States?
It's in a different fashion.
But those people are legally renting.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is they're doing, building, buying homes, whatever it is they're doing, but they are surely not in the middle of the United States setting up shanty towns.
But Bahamians must take responsibility for where we are. We can point fingers at the government and whatever administration, because this has been happening. I'm 53, and there are people who live in this country before I'm born. And so this is not new to our country. But until Bahamians take responsibility, until Bahamians love this country more than they love their money, until Bahamians want to see this country better, we must take note of what is happening in Haiti. The bishop just said, we don't really want to be here. When Haiti becomes, and it is this dream and prayer, well, we don't want to reach the place in this country that we have to dream and pray that our country is good for us to stay in. Where are we going to go? And so as Bahamians, we must take responsibility, those of the who are collecting those monies, those of who are the boss that can give authorization for illegal structure to be built. My boss tell me do that, and without authorization from the government, without the proper work permits, you guys are the problem. And you can point finger, you can disguise it in blaming other people, but until you become a good citizen of this country, the problems will continue with the shanty towns.
The thing about it is, I sympathize and I empathize with what the bishop is saying in terms of them needing time to move. But I think we've reached a crossroad where time is up. There have been injunctions under the previous administration where they wanted to demolish these various structures all around. I think the writing was on the wall. It was only a matter of time for these persons to leave this place. I think we've reached a point in this country where it's them versus us. That's how Bahamians feel now. If we don't act now, so our birthright is going to be taken away from us if it hasn't already been. And then to the gangsters, because y'all are some gangsters, that's selling your birthright out. The songwriter, I think it was KB that said, they selling our country, they selling our land, our archipelago of sea and sand. Y'all are some real gangsters, because you all are allowing these persons to squat on, but they're not even squatting, because as the pastor mentioned, they are paying you rent to be on that land. So I want to go a step further and say the authorities now need to hold those persons before the courts who own these property and charge them for constructing illegal places, buildings on there. Because the second I go and try to clear down any bush, even on a property that I own, and no work permit is put up front, Ministry of Works is there, the police is there, everybody there to shut down my operation. Wow. So it begs the question, Shanique and Peggy, who owns these properties?
Who own the properties?
And I'm sure,
yes,
I'm sure these persons are known. And Andres, there's a small community. I'm sure if they are not known, investigations will reveal. I know there was a lie there was an argument between a tenant, a Asian national, and the owner. She said, "We paying you rent. We paying you rent." And so when these people are revealed, charge them. This is the only way these people will take it seriously. It's like a child. Keep threatening them, keep threatening. Unless you follow through as a parent, unless you follow through as the government of the Commonwealth of Bahamas, we will continue to have this conversation, which we've been having over and repeatedly.
For decades.
For decades.
And that is why, whichever ministries are involved and directly involved in the demolition and obviously the repatriation, the apprehension of illegals, the repatriation, all of it, even the awarding of citizenship and status and work permits, you must step up. But not only to the Haitian who is here illegally, but to the people behind the scenes who are collecting the money. And everyone, I'm certain there has to be some some agency of the government who knows exactly who is behind which property.
But when you bring work permit holders over, aren't you liable for their accommodations to make sure that they have somewhere to stay?
You would hope
so.
That's
The
how it
pastor
operates.
mentioned that these persons are work permit holders. Where is your sponsor? Who is your sponsor?
Find them.
Find them. Get these people before the courts. It's time to make an example of these people that are adding to
And
the
not
fire.
not one time for PR's sake, not one time for political expediency. Make this our way of life moving forward.
But we see the trend everywhere else. Whether it's the United States, whether it's the United Kingdom, whether it's anywhere in the region. I understand, absolutely, I understand Turks and Caicos also has a very strict and firm policy as well that they have reinforced. And what I'm saying is, we must reinforce, even if it means hauling Bahamians before the courts,
Yes.
which obviously appears to be the first order of business. We must get very serious, because when we do that, I have a feeling the other things will slow down.
And put a lien on their assets.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, make it very uncomfortable to continue. I see Australia. I mean, I watch a documentary at the airport. I mean, they opening bags and they returning people. We have to take this serious. This just cannot be more talking points. This just cannot be more opportunities to bounce between each administration. If you are serious about this country, this is the place to start.
Well, meanwhile, ladies, the opposition Free National Movement is claiming tonight that a recent United States smuggling operation tied to the Bahamas lays bare a collapse in the country's immigration enforcement under the Davis administration. That report that you see, of course, the video should be on the screen. I saw the story. It's a bit long, so we decided not to go with it this evening. But in that story, it is being said that the Bahamas there's the start of that story, but that the Bahamas immigration laws are laxed and stop being enforced. I don't know where the U.S. got that from. In a press release issued yesterday, Senator Ruben Raming called the events, keep the video going so they could see the story, called the events a national embarrassment, as he also referenced a local daily, highlighting concerns from U.S. officials who say the Bahamas has relaxed a lot of its immigration enforcement, turning our nation into a launch point for criminal networks moving people and drugs into Florida. Now, the Davis administration has often touted its border patrols along with partnerships with regional law enforcement, which reportedly yield success. Nonetheless, Ruben Raming is demanding a monthly publication of key statistics to show hours spent on patrolling, the functionality of the radar systems, the number of marina inspections, the volume of migrant interdictions, the drug seizures, and prosecution secured. Ladies, my question is this. When did Ruben Raming come up with all those wonderful words right there? When he came up with them, when he was just in power 2 minutes ago. See, we have got to stop playing games and stop liking these word salads just to sound like we about something and have some idea. Because if you had all these ideas, it could have happened just a few years ago. Now, I also take great exception. Listen, this nation has its issues just like the United States. We saw something unfortunate play out in front of our eyes this afternoon in the United States. Quite unfortunate, where because of the very huge divide between conservative and liberal, a young man lost his life who has been very prominently featured from the election campaign of Donald Trump into this presidency. We saw that. They have their own issues, including immigration and that I mentioned, just sheer hatred. And so for them to point fingers at our immigration system, which you've seen people hauled before the courts, you've seen the little corrupt set, you've seen them hauled before the courts and charged. So we are trying to do what we need to do in this little nation with the little bit that we have. It's not the U.S.'s business to come point fingers and say that they have laxed. I don't think the immigration system has laxed. The fact is they are trying to weed out the bad apples. But to say that it's lax, and then for Ruben to say we need a monthly report of this, that, and the next, I mean, you find the officers to make it happen.
I mean, a simple Freedom of Information Act would subside all of this, right? So
again, enforce that when you were there sitting around the table.
It would be more credible if Mr. Ruben Raming, Senator Raming, would have said, continue what we left in place. But he didn't say that. Can you say that? Continue the stats that we were doing. Why did you stop? It would have been more credible had he was able to say that. But he can't say it because now the great ideas in opposition always blossom. But when you're in leadership, when you're part of a governing party, it seems that like that part of your brain goes mute.
The ideas somehow just escape you.
Ladies, I wouldn't put it like that, because I think that's a part of your opposition role in the Senate.
Yeah, but this opposition has been in government before.
They've been in government.
And the memory is so fresh. If Mr. Raming had said, this is what we were doing, and you stop it. But he can't say that because you weren't doing it. All these brilliant ideas.
I think the U.S. now putting this out publicly has prompted a response. And I think it has prompted responses from multiple agencies in the Bahamas. So him as a sitting senator, I can see him defending his position on, listen, in order to subside all of this, with the United States is saying, let's put out the reports, let's put out the numbers. If the government is doing this X, let's put out the report so the Bahamian people is updated on it. And I've seen it recently after persons were talking about the number of repatriations. We were not getting those circulars prior to that. And then people started talking about it, and we saw the circulars that 13 persons were detained and repatriated back to wherever they were repatriated to. So again, this is in response to what America is doing. But America is going to do what's best for America. The Bahamas has 3 categories of visa entries. You either come here as a tourist, you either come here as a seaman on a vessel, or you are a diplomat. So a lot of things have long been happening. So it's now the granting of these entries. It's now on our immigration department to decide who we're going to allow in and not allow in.
He's referring, a part of that story is obviously a human smuggling and drug smuggling operation that's happened. In fact, it happened in Florida, but it was also sort of tied to the Bahamas back and forth with the human smuggling aspect of it. What I am saying is this: human smuggling ain't started in the Bahamas. It happened. It's a worldwide thing. And so where some Bahamians are in Florida and come up with a brilliant idea that this is what they're going to do, what does immigration have to do with that? How? And again, ladies, I take exception because I feel as though outside of the Bahamians who are quite with big question marks over their heads, many of who we have seen disciplined in court recently, in court cases that have come from immigration, from the passport office, we've seen that happen recently. And so there is an effort to clean up the system from the corruption that exists, right? Yes. The point about it is, the U.S. is in no bigger position or no moral authority to say that the immigration laws of the Bahamas are slack and laxed. And where they are, let's tighten, as we have been doing in terms of getting people before the court. Let's do that even more. Yes. But to say that this is a nation of lawlessness, those men were in Florida.
And what are we gonna do, Shanty? This is the big U.S. This is the United States of America, who we heavily depend on.
No, it's nothing. I didn't say we could do anything. That's what they famous on that. But that's what we do. That's what we do.
We hold everybody. See, this is the point. We hold everybody accountable.
Yes.
No matter who their party is, no matter who their association is. When we start allowing the laws to filter everyone, and everyone is held at the same standard of accountability,
yes,
we'll see some progress in this country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to shift gears. You all been paying attention to what's happening in Fox Hill? Listen,
that's my favorite after-school special.
Fox Hill is the biggest movie in town. I tell you that. Fox Hill, that movie just keeps giving. I mean, there's part 1, part 2, and I think we're on part 10 by now. Then, get this, you all. Dr. Hubert Minnis, the incumbent in Killarney, and the FNM's candidate, Senator Michael Barnett. Guess what they're both doing at this very moment? Campaigning in Killarney. We talk about that when we come back.
The Bahamas is the premier destination for fly fishing because of its unique geography.
We've got the 3rd largest barrier reef in the world in the Bahamas.
We have the largest aggregation of mangroves in the Western Hemisphere.
Which simply means we've got the largest marine biodiversity than anywhere else in the world.
I am unapologetic about Bahamians being owners in our #1 industry.
We should not just say, we should have it enacted into certain policies.
The Bahamas Fly Fishing Industry Association was instrumental in the 2017 sports fishing legislation. Anyone fishing in the Bahamas who's going to be guiding has to be certified and licensed, and thirdly, they have to be a Bahamian.
And that is historic, in that a model of conservation and a model for Bahamianization has been legislated, the only one in the country.
But it also gives Bahamians the opportunity with a sense of pride to know that at the end of the day, I'm contributing to the development of my country and something they can pass on for generations.
The Out Island of Bahamas, there are no other alternative industry that generates the kind of revenue that fly fishing does. The entire community benefits.
I would always encourage the tourists, people who want to fish, hire a local guide.
The guides in the Bahamas are some of the best trained fly fishing guides in the world. You know it because you see the results in terms of the kinds of fishing they're doing. They're catching the largest bonefish, the largest tarpon, largest permit. That is unique. So this is the lure to all the anglers internationally coming who thinks of the Bahamas as #1 destination for fly fishing in saltwater.
I'm really excited about this initiative that SPTC has brought forth for the fishermen.
If you have great guides and terrible boats and engines and nothing working and all this, you could be the best in the world. And people still have a terrible experience because they could not have a good day on the water.
I think one of the greatest things is to have access to quality capital, but not only having access to the capital, but terms and conditions to the capital, so we encourage growth and expansion of the industry and professionalism within the industry because of the resources being at hand and having proper guidance.
It'll be a greater impact and they'll have a better experience.
And I foresee it being an opportunity that the guides are taking advantage of in terms of the opportunities for education, awareness, and resources. You always need to advise people, inform them, and then equip them. And so I think this process is essential because it allows those skill sets that are needed in a changing economy and environment, how they could then keep up with operating their small business.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. 1 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Of course, we look forward to welcoming in you your business in this election season. Listen, this is the place to get in on and get your business notice, your event, whatever it is you want to talk about, advertise and get more attention to. Of course, the political season as well. We have a wonderful package for the aspiring, the candidate, for the political organization. Give us a call here at Beyond the Headlines at Eyewitness News, and let's get you started, okay? Meanwhile, though, the Fox Hill political row gets more interesting day by day. Today, Fox Hill Member of Parliament Fred Mitchell posted this statement on his minute-by-minute page. In part, it reads, on distribution of food to unsupervised minors, here's our pledge. The PLP Fox Hill does not cause minor children to interact in or around our headquarters without a parent or responsible adult. All functions of the PLP Fox Hill as it relates to minors require the use of public facilities and the proper supervision and consent of a responsible adult or parent, and through transparent and regulated authorities or organizations. We pledge to continue to act with the utmost probity as it relates to minors. We will not deviate from these standards for the sake of politics. And that, in fact, I read it all. Now, of course, this is in response to Dr. Nicholas Fox, the FNM's candidate for Fox Hill, announcing earlier this week that, listen, kids, 2 days a week, when you're leaving school, I have some hot dogs, chips, juice, and water for y'all. Of course, Dr. Fox came back after Minister Mitchell said yesterday in the news. He came back hours later with another video and the chips in hand. He was looking for that chips, by the way, just to see how healthy it is. But he said, listen, here's the chips. It's healthy. Kids, you all come on by. Don't pay attention to the noise out there. And let's just do what we're doing. But did you all bank on Fox Hill being what it is? This political race or row?
Being the daily entertainment, I mean, people just tuning in for jokes. It's sadly that the children are caught in the crossfire of these two candidates. It is very interesting. I mean, Dr. Fox, he just talk in slow motion. I love it. That Southern draw. But I think this route will continue and probably election year.
No.
The eve of election day.
I think, again, like I said last evening, Mr. Fred, Minute by Minute Mitchell, has met his match. And it is a great matchup. Dr. Fox today or recently has just donated fans and air conditioning to the LW Young School.
Air conditioning as well?
Air condition as well, darling. And
Jesus,
the people are saying it is hot in Fox Hill. And don't worry about it, because Dr. Nicholas Fox coming to cool you down.
But you know, the biggest winners, we normally say the biggest losers, the biggest winners are the constituents.
People. And I love it.
And election should be 2 years away for the people to benefit from this row going on in Fox Hill. And so let it continue. Mr. Fox, Dr. Fox brought in fans. Okay, so now you put fans. What Mr. Mitchell is going to bring?
Listen, but let's move along very quickly, because in Killarney, you think Fox Hill is interesting, perhaps for a different reason. But here's what's happening in Killarney this evening. The incumbent there, Dr. Hubert Minnis, is campaigning in the Mount Pleasant area. As he's doing that, Justin, if we have a few images, let's do it. And then as he's doing that, this is him just after 6, 7 this evening. Around the same time, Senator Michaela Barnett was also somewhere in Killarney, not sure exactly of the location, but in Killarney as well. So there she is with the leader of the opposition and some people, Adrian White. I can't make out any other, I don't know, will you all see that move? What's going on there? They doggone pop in there. What it is? Listen, okay, so there's the leader at the front. Listen, let's talk about these two candidates. They try, say, heating up in Killarney. Obviously, they are trying, what we saw in that video, to send a message. Let's start with her first. Let's talk about how these two candidates measure up. Just how it stands now without boundaries, commission, and whatnot coming into bear in this discussion very quickly. How do they look? Let's start with the senator. What do you how does she look in Killarney? What have you been hearing, if anything, in terms of perhaps what her footprint has been like in Killarney?
Her footprint. She, to me, was a surprise. I'm trying to, because I know people waiting at candidates, right? She was a surprise. Our first video that I saw in Killarney was the school delivering the school bags, and it was not impressive, the number of people on the ground. But because I'm keeping note of how many boots are on the ground now this evening, she has the support of the leader and other candidates from the various constituency. And I think that is the boost the morale. She looks very confident. I think the attention she has been receiving from Mr. Millis and all the support she got from different women and who saying, oh, you shouldn't call her a little girl. I think it has boosted her confidence. You see her doing the little moves. And so it is very interesting to watch and how long she can ride the wave of little girl. Statement.
Well, for me, I'm not a proponent of the little girl thing. I think we're all bill-paying adults, so I'm not going to harp on the issue of that. I think Michaela is definitely building momentum. They're in Killarney today with the leader. I think the F&M is putting their money where their mouth is and giving her the support that is needed and that will be needed to reclaim that as an F&M seat. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch and see as the momentum builds towards election. And she seems fired up, energetic, and ready to go. She seems excited by the video. And so it's going to be a joy to watch and see how this race actually
plays out. Well, let's look at Dr. Minnis, though, the incumbent. He has been, I think the T-shirt says Killarney strong. Yes. And so he went into Mount Pleasant this evening. Let's just talk about what his footprints look like in Killarney.
Well, Killarney, Dr. Minnis is known to be one of the best member of parliament for his representation, for his involvement within the community, sponsoring schools, celebrating his birthday. Year after year, we have seen this, and so whatever people can say about his leadership ability, not many can match up to his representation, his involvement in Killarney. And so I think Dr. Minnis is gonna be, when it comes between him and Miss Ellis, they're gonna be a tough fight. Now, before the show, I went to see how much votes Dr. Minnis won in 2021. It was only 121 votes between the two candidates. And so that margin of victory, when you look at two F&Ms, and I was told another candidate for another party is from the F&M. So if that is the case, when you look at three F&Ms dividing the votes, there's only one set of votes and one set of F&M votes. And if Dr. Minnis is very popular in Killarney. And so if Ms. Ellis chips in, or Senator Ellis chips in on the F&M vote, my projection is that the PLP stands the greatest chance of being victorious at the poll.
We're not gonna ignore the fact that Dr. Minnis has served there for, I believe it's 4 consecutive terms. But he served there as 4 consecutive terms underneath a banner. We have no data now to show that he can successfully hold on to this outside of being the Free National Movement's flag carrier. So until this election will determine if he is indeed as loved as the people are saying, because we've seen many representatives, when they are removed from the party's banner, that's PLP and F&M, the carpet is swept from under them.
We've also seen, though, many candidates who, because they are so loved, the people say, if you move, we move. Just like that.
And that's what is being said. I have a family member who lives in Killarney, and I'm told she's saying no matter which banner Dr. Minnis is under, she will support him because of his great representation. And so you can't come from unknown up to a man who has built history in Killarney. And so this one is for the history books. We've seen the former prime ministers. All these prime ministers are something else. When we look at history, former Prime Minister Christie and Ingram both went out from independent
and won.
And they won. And so if that is the trend, this is
and then not only them. I mean, of course, they were very popular in their organizations before they did that, and of course they went on to win as independents, went back under umbrella organizations and became prime ministers. But just look at the average person who moved from, because of falling out, whatever it is, from under a political organization, and the people say, because you are so good and we are behind you and you've been good to us, we are going to move with you.
I think that's what slim, though. But even the numbers, though, Peggy, I wanted to comment quickly before we have to go. The numbers, though, a lot of persons stayed home. We witnessed the lowest voter turnout ever. So this election, we really will be able to have a more calculated figure to dissect to really find out where the Bahamian populace lies. If they truly say they love you like they do,
or they love
if
the
they
party,
can ride for you, or they can ride for their party.
And then we have to look at numbers. It is a number game.
It is.
If you have 4 candidates in Killarney, and you have possible 2 from the F&M, it's going to split the F&M vote. Whether it's split it big or it's split it small, the strongest standing party will be that of the Progressive Liberal Party when we look at the numbers, because the Progressive Liberal Party numbers will not split. And like I said, there were only 121 vote difference in the victory of Dr.
I'll tell you where the victory is going to come. The ground game.
Yeah.
The ground game. And of course, if you have a track record and you're able to convince the people and say, listen, I'm the same person that you've been with all these years, let's continue, it's going to be the ground game for whichever candidate emerges victorious. And we are right here to track it all for you and to come here and talk about it, including Fox Hill. That's right. Yes. Listen,
Go Dr. Fox.
I thank you all very, very much for being here. Of course, at the top of tonight's show, thank you very much to Bishop Sylvanea St. Louis, speaking on behalf of those Haitians in the, I think it's the North Andros Shanty town. Thank you very much for speaking on that and just shedding more light on this very complicated matter. I tell you that. And then, of course, here in this segment, my hot topic panelists, Gabrielle McKenzie, Aeneas, and Peggy Candace. Thank you very, very much to both of you. I want to say a big thank you to all of you this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.